That's what we're building today. A complete home media server, storage, container, Jellyfin from nothing to fully working. Here is the architecture of what we're building. On the Proxmox host, we'll create a ZFS storage pool. That's where all your files live. Separate from that, we'll create a lightweight LXC container and install Jellyfin inside it. Then, we connect the two using a bind mount, a direct window from the container into your media host. Keeping media on the host and Jellyfin in a container means they're completely independent. If you ever want to update Jellyfin, change the container or start fresh, your media is untouched. Never mix your OS with your data. First, we need somewhere to store the media. We're going to create a ZFS pool on Proxmox using one or more dedicated drives. ZFS is the storage system built into Proxmox. It handles the disks, keeps your data safe, and gives us a clean path we can use later. First, we prepare the SSD. Mine had an old Windows partitions on it, 2 NFT volumes taking up the whole drive. Proxmox cannot create a ZFS pool on a disk that already has a partition table on it. We need to erase it completely. Now we turn that blank SSD into a ZFS pool. Give the pool a name. I am using media pool. For RAID level, I am choosing single disk because I only have one drive today. If you have two drives, choose mirror. Both drives hold identical data. One can fail and you lose nothing. 3 or more drives, choose RAID Z1. Any single drive can fail safely. Leave A shift at 12 and leave compression on. The compression costs nothing and gains you space on small files, like subtitles, metadata, posters. Leave it on. Select your drive and click create. The GUI just created the pool. But the pool is not a folder you can actually use yet. We need to create a dataset inside the pool. That is the actual usable folder where files will live. Verify it is here with ZFS list. You will see media pool and media pool/media both listed with their own rows. The path /media pool/media is what everything else will point at. Now we create the container where Jellyfin will run. A container is not a virtual machine. A virtual machine emulates an entire computer, its own CPU, its own kernel, its own hardware layer. An LXC container shares the Proxmox kernel directly. There are two types of container in Proxmox: privileged and unprivileged. In a privileged container, the root user inside has full power over the entire Proxmox host. If anything goes wrong, if Jellyfin ever has a vulnerability, an attacker lands on your machine as root. In an unprivileged container, root inside maps to a normal powerless user on the outside. For the settings, first I will choose my host name and input my password. For the template, I am using Ubuntu. For the disk, I am choosing 16 GB. This is for Jellyfin itself, its configuration and the metadata cache. Posters, artwork, descriptions for your library. Your actual media lives outside the container, so this does not need to be large. For the CPU, I am choosing 2 cores, 2048 MB. It is fine for personal use. But if your server will have multiple people streaming at the same time or 4K content, bump it up to 4 cores and 4 GB. For the network, I am choosing the bridge on my main interface. Choose static IP, not automatic. If the IP changes after a restart, every device on your network loses the saved Jellyfin address. Before we start the container, we need to connect it to your media. This is called a bind mount. It takes the folder at /mediapool/media on the Proxmox host and makes it visible inside the container at /media. The files do not move, nothing is copied. The container just gets a direct window into your storage. On the Proxmox host shell, not inside the container, we will use this command. Then, verify it is saved correctly in the configuration of the LXC. The container is unprivileged. A user ID inside the container are shifted when seen from the outside. Jellyfin runs as a user with ID 101 inside the container. On the Proxmox host, that same user appears as 100.101. If the media folder does not allow the user in, Jellyfin sees nothing. We need to use the command chmod. For the installation part, first we need to start the container. Update it. Now we need to download the official Jellyfin install script. As you can see, curl command doesn't work, we can just install it. Now we can run the script. We have confirmation that Jellyfin has been installed correctly. Go to the address. Remember that the IP address of the LXC is the one that you chose during the configuration, and we use the port 8096. The setup wizard opens automatically. Set your language, create your admin account with a password. Click Add Media Library, choose Movies and point it at /media. Jellyfin can read your media, but how do you actually get the files onto the server from your Windows or Linux machine? That is what Samba does. Samba is the protocol that lets Linux share folders with Windows over the network. It will make your ZFS dataset look like a normal folder in the Windows Explorer. You drag the files in, Jellyfin picks them up. On the Proxmox host, not inside the container, run this command to install Samba. Now we need to open the Samba config file and scroll to the very bottom. Now we need to add this block at the end. Media is the name Windows will see when it browses to your server. The path is where the actual folder lives on the host. Browsable means it appears in the list. Writable means you can copy the files in, not just read them. Save with Ctrl X, then Y, then Enter. Create a Samba password for root, then restart Samba. On your Windows machine, open the PowerShell and connect. Then open the File Explorer and type // followed by the IP of your Samba share. Now we can add movies into the folder and check if Jellyfin can see them. If your machine has an Intel CPU from the last 10 years, it almost certainly has integrated graphics. To pass the graphics chip through the container, we need to run these two lines on the Proxmox host. Then in Jellyfin we need to go to Dashboard, Playback, Transcoding and enable VAAPI or Intel QuickSync and point it at /dev DRI render D128. Intro Skipper. Intro Skipper analyzes the audio of every TV episode in your library. Intro music is identical across every episode of a series, so the plugin detects those matching segments and marks the timestamps. You will also get a skip button at exactly the right moment. TMDB box sets groups your movies into collections automatically based on TMDB data. Open Subtitles automatically downloads missing subtitles from Open Subtitles for your entire library. You will need to have a free account required, but I use it myself and it's very worth. So that's it. That's the whole configuration. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me in the comments because I am eager to help you. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe. Bye bye.